on human excretory system. Now, human excretory system is consisting of pair of kidneys. So here I must draw a diagram, and as our usual we are drawing here. What is my idea? That you can also draw this diagram along with me, so the understanding must be. This is the diagram of excretory system. No doubt this is not that accurate one, but you are getting general idea about the topic. So what is the important thing? That you can pause this video here, because I am not able to keep this diagram for longer time, just like diagram. And so it is recommended that you should pause out this video over here and draw this entire diagram, where the important title is not there. You can write down that title as excretory system in human being, and observe carefully whatever is drawn and try to write down. Now here you may observe that the left kidney and right kidney, they are not exactly at same level. The left kidney is somewhat at upper level than right kidney. So this is not my diagram mistake, that is actually there. Now these kidneys are having bean shape. So try to draw that something like bean shape. I am not perfect in drawing, so you can just imagine this way diagram. Pause this video, complete your diagram first, and then listen about discussion. Observe diagram, and now don't tell that I am in between you and diagram. So you must have drawn diagram. Say, in case of diagram, drawing of diagram is really important. As long as you are observing, you may say that I am observing this diagram. But when you are drawing yourself, the ideas get clear more. Like we discuss in geography, that try to draw that map. On drawing of map, you can get concept more clear. So same thing is here. That biology, don't tell me that in UPSC exam or in competitive exam we have only objective type questions. So whether diagram drawing is important, answer is yes. That is to make concept clear for yourself. So after drawing diagram, you can say that I hope you must have drawn left kidney slightly at higher level and right kidney slightly at lower level. Now the right kidney is slightly lower in position than left kidney. Now here excretory system is consisting of, let us first be familiar with this system first. So excretory system here is consisting of two kidneys. They are bean shaped kidneys, and from that this portion is there. So here as well as here, that something is entering in, something is coming out. So this portion is called as hilus. So the kidney, this is the hilus. Then these two tubes are coming out from kidney. They are forming main product here, that is urine. So these tubes are called as ureter. So they are carrying out the product of kidney, that is urine, that is called as ureter. Then there is urinary bladder and urethra. Now above kidney you will find gland, that is called as adrenal gland. In name I have written suprarenal gland. So it is supra, that is above, or adrenal gland, because it secretes out hormone that is called as adrenaline. In hormonal coordination we are discussing more about this, but here just reference is there, therefore I have to mention that this adrenal gland or suprarenal gland that is secreting out hormone. Hormone is enzyme, that means chemical which trigger out the reaction. So enzyme is chemical which trigger out reaction. If these types of special enzymes, they are secreted in direct bloodstream, they are called as hormones. The glands are called as ductless gland or endocrine gland. So this is suprarenal gland, that is also type of an endocrine gland which secretes out hormone, that is called as adrenaline, and that is having effect on again liver, where glucose is stored in form of polysaccharide, that is called as glycogen, and this glycogen is converted into glucose on secretion of this hormone, that is adrenaline. So when there is fear, there is tension, or some extraordinary sudden shock is there, adrenaline is secreted. Rest of things we are discussing in detailed hormones. So here this is just enough about suprarenal gland. Then we are discussing about this tube. This is called as dorsal aorta, whereas this is called as inferior vena cava. So this is vein which is going towards heart. This is artery which is coming from heart, which is divided into part, that is called as renal artery. So here in case of kidney we are using word renal. So add renal or suprarenal. So same way the artery which supplies blood to kidney, that is called as renal artery. So here this is renal artery. Now the vein is there to collect out blood. This is called as renal vein. So renal artery as well as renal vein, that is there. Now let us discuss about kidneys. So first, kidneys are dark red, or usually we should call as maroon shape, maroon colored, bean shaped, and somewhere around 10 centimeter long. So if I measure this distance, this is 10 centimeter. Breadth, that is around 5 centimeter wide. And if you measure the thickness, how thick it is, then it is somewhere around 4 centimeter. These kidneys are attached to dorsal side of body. I must again make clear here. I am drawing a diagram. I hope you are aware of this type of concept we are discussed again and again. Say, suppose this is the arm. This side is there. Then we are calling the front side as anterior side. Rear is back. Anti of rear, that is front. So instead of front, why I don't know, but this type of words they are using. This very clear word should be there like front, but they are using word as anti-rear. But this is not called as rear side. Actually this should be called as rear side, but this is called as posterior side. So anterior side, posterior side. This side is called as dorsal side, and this side is called as ventral side. So these concepts are there about the sides. So dorsal, ventral, anterior and posterior. In respect to this, kidneys are attached to the dorsal body wall at level of 12th thoracic vertebra. Try to recollect total thoracic vertebrae, there are 12. So 12th thoracic vertebra, and then it starts lumbar vertebrae. So till 3rd lumbar vertebra in abdominal cavity they are present. Now these kidneys are having a membrane. They are calling as peritoneal covering, that is on anterior surface. So only that is the covering present here, that is on anterior surface. So they are called as retroperitoneal. So just Okay, here only this much is sufficient. Now functions of kidneys. Number one, that kidneys perform function of maintaining internal environment, constant and balanced. When we are discussing the process of osmoregulation, at that time we are discussing this in detail. Then extraction of nitrogenous waste product. As we have discussed that actually excretion process, that is here, that nitrogenous waste product is excreted. Then again part of osmoregulation, that is adjustment of sodium, potassium, chloride, ion concentration. You are aware that sodium and potassium ion are playing important role in heartbeat, the contraction and relaxation of heart, as well as in nervous system also they are important. Now regulation of acid base balance of body, that is pH of body. You are aware that pH of human blood is maintained around 7.4. What is pH? For that purpose, observe ionic chemistry lecture, ionic equilibria lecture, particularly from chemistry side. You will get idea what is pH. Here I am mentioning only definition but not able to explain. That is negative logarithm to base 10 of H plus ion concentration. That is called as pH. Simply the pH value is lower, the substance is acidic. pH tends to 0, substance is highly acidic. pH approaches 7, substance is neutral. And pH is greater than 7, pH is basic. So this is about pH, so maintaining pH of body. Then regulation of composition of blood with respect to salt and water content is all we are calling as osmoregulation. And removal of excess of foreign substances like drugs, pigments, whatever. Now, kidney is functioning, the main function actually, that we are calling as purification of blood. In respiratory system also we have discussed that the two words we are using, pure blood and impure blood, they are actually confusing. Why I am saying confusing? Because in respiratory system concern, we are saying that lungs are receiving impure blood, and from lung we are receiving pure blood. That word should be like that: oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood. Whereas actual purification of blood is carried out in kidney. So here it's very clear that renal artery is there that carries supposed to be impure blood or blood which is having wastage, etc., etc. It is not only there for kidney, it is going to the down part of body also. So while that blood is circulated through kidney, so not 100% blood like lung is receiving special blood for oxygenation purpose. Here no renal artery is there to supply blood only for artery, but part of blood is supplied to kidney, and then it is going to dorsal aorta. Blood is transferred passively to renal vein, where this is purified blood. But again, that is not entirely purified blood. So we can say in form of pipeline only, blood is purified. So purification process is continued throughout in the kidney. But like heart or like other organ, kidney is functioning somewhat different. The kidney is made up of small functional unit that is called as nephron. Here don't confuse the word with neuron. Neuron is present in nervous system, whereas nephron is here in excretory system. We have to discuss that, but right now we are focusing on this part. Now artery supplies blood over here. Inside this, from hilus that get entered in, it is divided into smaller arteries, arterioles, and ultimately a fine tube that is called as capillary. But at that point also we are considering that as arteriole, small artery, very fine artery, because arteries carries blood directly, actively, whereas veins carries out blood passively. Now observe this diagram carefully, pause video and try to draw this diagram. You can give heading for this diagram as LS of kidney, longitudinal section of this kidney. So try to draw diagram by pausing out video. Kidneys, we are discussing now LS, that is longitudinal section of kidney. You can observe first part here, that is the capsule, that is the covering of kidney. Then inside portion, this is called as cortex. Now this cortex is just adjoining this capsule or region within that the outer renal cortex and inner that portion that is called as renal medulla. So this portion about the medullary pyramid. Now renal medulla we are discussing. This is lighter in color and divided into pyramidal region called renal pyramids. Now renal pyramid is a wide base attached to cortex, and towards that other end it is becoming narrower. Now columns of Bertini, that is the renal column of Bertini, that is part of cortex, continued inside. So this is particularly columns of Bertini, that is the part of this cortex continued inside between that medulla. Now renal sinus, sinus means cavity, so that is called as pelvis, or this is the renal sinus, that is divided into major calyx, then minor calyx, and ultimately it is going outside, that is in form of ureter. Now ureter, try to recollect our first diagram of excretory system where you have shown ureter, that is pair of narrow ducts coming out from hilus. Hilus means that this part of kidney, so two kidneys, two ureters are coming out and going towards urinary bladder. Now somewhere 40 centimeter long, and they carries urine from kidney to urinary bladder. Now the process is governed by peristalsis process or peristaltic contraction. Try to recollect peristalsis motion. We have discussed in digestive system that horizontal and vertical contractions of muscles, so that the somewhat say that action is shown in our digestive system, that food particle or bolus that is transferred from esophagus to stomach. So like that same actions are carried out here, and ultimately urine is mechanically transferred from ureter, that means from kidney to urinary bladder through ureters, that is through peristaltic